In January 2010, Mattel released their brand of WWE action figures, and whilst the regular 6-inch figures that we all know and love, whilst those have stayed, there have been some sublines over the years of like smaller figures, bigger figures, stuff like that that they've released, and most of the lines were short-lived, and one of these lines was definitely short-lived. These were called the Rumblers series. They started making these in 2010 with most of the biggest stars from the time getting a Rumbler, like Randy Orton, Undertaker, Edge, CM Punk. These were pretty cool, very toyetic little figures because they were like jacked, so that's toyetic. They were like posable in the arms and everything, all the cool poses going on. And these were mostly like you had like a ring, small a small ring, and it had like paddles on the side where you would stand the rumblers in the ring. You would like pound the paddles, they said in the commercials, and make the rumblers go flying. This was more like battle royal type playing right here. They had a number of play sets, including the ring I just mentioned with the paddles, as well as the Rumblers Rampage bus. They had a Rumblers Rampage rig, and they also revealed like retro esque Rumblers. Like you remember the Retro series? It was like that, just with the Rumblers. They were called Rumblers Rampage figures. I don't think those were as cool. It was just like you would like move an arm joint or something, then it would bounce back and like smack another Rumbler with it. I don't think that's as cool as these, but these were still pretty cool. Like very toyetic, like I said, all the poses and everything, and they had a decent amount of detail for being a small figure. Obviously, there was some missing detail, like certain tattoos, certain decals on the ring gear, like you see the back on the CM Punk. He doesn't have like the stars on the back, even though he has it on the front. So that was a little annoying when it was out, but you gotta remember these were mostly intended for children, and I think that's the reason why they've gone forgotten, because most of the collectors like nowadays that collected back then, most of those collectors were in their teen years or their early adult years back in the days when these figures came out, and not a lot of the kids that were collecting like during those years that had these rumblers are still collecting these days. So that's why a lot of people forget about them. But this is definitely a series I think they could go to revive because there's a lot of toyetic people on the WWE roster right now, like Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, even Gunther. Like those people never had a Rumbler, and I think though they would go good as Roman. Maybe like give them some upgrades in articulation, so maybe like give them ball joints. They're kind of like basing, like I wouldn't say basing, but they're kind of getting the Rumblers and like switching them into new things. Like there's new Knuckle Cruncher figures, which are a little bigger, and they remind me a lot of the Rumblers. I think they're only like 2 Rumblers tall. Like go like this with 2 Rumblers, and that's basically a Knuckle Cruncher right there. To be honest, they're more of like a shrunk down Mattel figure of the Knuckle Crunchers, and yes, everything did just fall. But it would be cool to see the Rumblers back in the line, like I said. And in 2013, they did end the Rumbler series in a series that included people like John Cena and Brock Lesnar, which I don't have that Brock Lesnar yet. I think that would be a pretty cool Rumbler to get. But they ended that series. They replaced it with the Slam City series, which was basically the same thing, just based on the movie Slam City, where all the superstars had like occupational jobs and everything, and they were fighting the villain known as the Finisher. So they kind of replaced the Rumblers on with that, which was a little unfortunate to see because they were really fun to collect. Like have a bunch of little ones, put them on yourself. But yeah, definitely that they could revive these, and even if they never do, these were still very cool for their times. All the poses, all the detail, and yeah, WWE Rumblers are a forgotten WWE figure range.